Welcome to the Fit Chicks and Hormones podcast, where I share my insight to help you move through your perimenopause and menopausal years with ease. In this podcast, I talk about natural solutions for balancing your hormones and empowering you to move away from the symptoms like fatigue, mood swings, hot flashes, and resistant weight loss to feeling vibrant, confident, and full of energy as you age gracefully. Let's get started.
All right. So the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like it happens a lot. We get to this time of the year and it becomes a little stressful, especially, if maybe if you weren't on a healthy eating plan or, trying to better your health in your life, you wouldn't care as much, but all of you guys are on this journey to try to feel better. You want to take care of your bodies. And what happens normally is during the holidays, it's like which is crazy that the holidays have become just like an eat fest, right? It's spending time with family, but it's also look at all this good food that I only get to eat once a year. I'm going to eat so much of it because I only get to eat it once a year. And then we overindulge in all the goodies because, we feel like, well, I'm not going to eat again for a year. So I want to talk about how we can do that in moderation to make our bodies feel better. So we don't come to the beginning of January and be like, okay, great. Now I just feel like I am starting all over again because that's not what we want to do. Um, and it's not just about the weight either. It's about, the holidays are busy. We got a lot going on. We got work, we got kid stuff, we got, get togethers, all the things, holiday parties. You want to feel good. You want to have good energy. You want to make sure you're sleeping good. You don't want to have all these aches and pains from inflammation so that you can't enjoy that, right? Because that's what it's all about is just enjoying our life. Okay. So, first, before we even get started, if you're here, I want you to post in the comments what is your biggest struggle around the holidays? So, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to the holidays? Post that in the comments. It could be whatever. It could be the food. It could be you're busy. It could be, I don't know, whatever it is. Snacking all day. Ah, yes. Mom's cooking and sugar. Sugar, Jamie, you and your sugar. You love your sugar. Especially when mom's cooking, because then it's like somebody else is cooking and it's good. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. Um, and then like what going into the holidays, what is your biggest fear? And maybe you don't have a fear and I don't be like, oh, you're afraid of the holidays, but like I want to make sure that I can stay on plan. Or I don't want to end up getting sick because we indulge in a lot of these other foods too, right? We don't feel well, or we may end up getting sick, like having a cold or whatever. So is there some fear that you have around the holidays that are coming up, if anything? And go ahead and put that in the comments as well. And I'm gonna go back to I'll answer my big struggle is again, it's all the goodies that I want to try. I want to try everything, right? And I feel like if I don't, I'm not gonna get to try it again for next till the next year. So I want to do it, which again I know then makes me feel horrible, even before the end of the day, which isn't fun. Um, I fear the food if cooked by others will not be as clean, and I will struggle afterwards. Yeah, yep. Because you don't. Well, first of all, we don't know what they're cooking with. Second of all, um, how our bodies are going to respond if they're used to not eating that kind of stuff, right? Okay. Let me- Okay. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that, girls. That's awesome. Okay. So we're going to talk about a plan, right? Because if we have a plan, like with anything, if you have a plan in place, then you're not going to feel like you're going to fall off the rails, right? So, and it's not going to be about depriving yourself or sacrificing your favorite foods. We're going to talk about how you can add them in and enjoy this family time with some of your off plan. I like to call it off plan. I like to call it treats or cheats. These off plan meals. That's what it is, right? Because then we don't feel guilty saying it. It's a treat or a cheat. Okay, so here are some of my favorite tips that I've been using for years and years that allow me to enjoy the holidays, enjoy the goodies, but also get through them so I still feel pretty good. I feel energized and I feel proud of the choices that I make because I know that I'm just not going there and it's just a indulge fest. So first, these are tips to start from the time you wake up. Let's say, even if let's say it's a holiday party, let's say it's you're getting together for Thanksgiving, you're just getting together as a family for whatever. First, you want to always start your day with a hormone healthy meal, right? Because if you set yourself up from the first meal of the day, the rest of the meals are at least going to fall in line because you're going to feel better, right? And what do you want to make sure is in them? Lots of protein, lots of fiber. Why? Because they fill you up more and they make you feel better. They're going to satiate you too, so you don't overindulge later. So I don't want you to think, you know what? I know that I'm going to indulge later, so I'm not going to eat anything until I go over there for Thanksgiving. Well, I don't want you saving any calories. We're not going to be saving any calories here, right? We're going to be eating the calories, and if we eat more calories, that's okay, as long as the majority of them fall into the plan. And something to think about too is, eat your healthy breakfast, even if lunch is the meal, or if it's not till later, like I will do, is I will have my smoothie in the morning, and then I will have breakfast 3 hours later. And if we usually eat around 3 to 4 o'clock, I'll probably still even have like maybe a protein shake or something before I go, because the more hungry I go, less likely I'm going to be able to say no. Oh, look at that. That was a great little rhyme there. I didn't even plan for that. But that's something to keep in mind, right? And if you love the smoothies, it's a really good way to start your day. Start your day off so you feel full, so you feel satiated. You have all the things. You have the protein, you have the fiber, you have the healthy fats. So you're starting your day off right. Okay. Don't go to any of these meals or any of these parties or anything hungry. And especially if you know like what's going to be there, okay, well, I want to make sure that I'm probably not going to get enough protein. So maybe I'll have a protein shake. So I get a good 25 grams before I go. So just something to think about. Next thing is make sure you're drinking all your water, right? Getting in that 60, 80, 100 ounces of water, adding electrolytes because a lot of the foods are going to have a lot of salt. They're going to dehydrate you. You want to make sure you're, flushing all that stuff through your body, and especially if you're having alcoholic beverages. I always bring my water bottle every time I go to a holiday because I nobody drinks water at my in-laws. So I'm the only one drinking my water. So I have my own water bottle, I have it full. I carry it around the house with me. Um, Again, it helps to flush all the stuff out. So if you're eating stuff, it's flushing things through your body. It's flushing out all the water retention, right? I remember at my grandma's house, we would go there and walk in, and her entire table was full of, I'm gonna say junk, but it's good, goodies, right? The snacky foods, the here's cookies and here's candy and here's all that. It wasn't like, oh, here's some protein on the table. It's here's all the stuff that you shouldn't be eating. And we're eating that first, right? Before everything. I remember we would just eat because you'd be hungry, so you'd eat all the junk. But if you have your water, you're drinking your water, you're gonna feel less full, right? So even if you start your morning out, let's say try to get, at least 40 ounces before you go, um, it's gonna make you feel a little more full, and you're less gonna feel less snacky when you do get there. One thing I want you to keep in mind though is make sure you're not drinking your water during your meal. So you want to drink it before, drink it after, but not during, because what's going to happen is you're going to flush away the enzymes in your body, and that's going to make you feel more gassy and bloated, and maybe even heartburn. Because again, these may be foods that you're not used to. We want to have the enzymes to help break that down. I would also say if you have the enzymes at home, make sure you take one before you go. That's also going to help to digest those foods. Okay? Because if I'm going to eat dairy, I want to make sure that I'm not going to feel like my stomach is going to blow up because then it'd be uncomfortable and not even be fun spending time with family. Another thing to do is move. Get up and move that morning. Go for a walk. Get a workout in, even if it's 10-minute workout, something like that. Or if it's a nice day like today would be, uh, eat the meal that while you're there and then say, "Does anybody want to go for a walk? Let's just walk down the block or let's walk here or whatever." Some people like if you have little kids, let's go outside and watch them play or have them run around, whatever it is, like whatever you can do to move. Because what do when we go to a holiday party or we go hang out with family? We just sit around and we talk and we eat, right? So anytime you can get movement, even if it's before or after, whatever, try to get some movement in. It helps with digestion, helps you to burn off some of those goodies. Even if you're burning them off before you go, you're burning some calories before you go, right? Um, Walking also increases insulin sensitivity, which means it allows your body to use glucose more effectively, keeping those blood sugars a little more stable, a little more low, they're not going up and down. Which again, in that sense, you're not going to eat a bunch of food, then be like, I'm just so tired, I could go take a nap. That's how many times we do that. I know me. Yeah. So, um, okay, now we're at the meal time, right? We're gonna eat. I want you to think about what you want to eat. So maybe you know what's all there first, right? Think about it. Be a little bit more thoughtful than just going through the line and picking all the stuff. Be a little more choosy. You can have a little bit of everything if you want, or choose what's important, most important for you. Let's say there's some chocolate dish you're like, I really, really want that. Okay, so then I'm not gonna have the potatoes, I'm not gonna have the gravy, and I'm not gonna have the stuffing. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? You're picking what things are most important for you to have instead of trying everything. Or a little bit of everything on your plate works too. Um, always make sure, yeah, try it all. Make sure there is protein. Always make sure there's protein. And if you can, try to get this amount, whatever that may be, right? A large handprint amount on your plate, because that again is going to help keep those blood sugars stable. Um, and then the veggies. A lot of times the veggies have a lot of sauces and stuff, but they're veggies. So add them anyway because they're going to fill you up. And then what can be left? So you want a protein, you want to have your veggies, and then there can be the starches, the desserts, whatever you want. Okay. Again, you can enjoy this time. Just make sure that it's not all full of potatoes and bread and all the goodies, right? We want to balance it out. Um, when you sit down to eat, make sure that you're really chewing your food well. Okay, that's going to help to keep you. It's going to help to break it down. It's also going to make you feel more full. I'm going to admit, I have a problem with eating fast. I scarf my food really fast because I always have something else that I need to be doing, which is horrible. Yesterday I was sitting with family and I'm like scarfing my food down. Well, we're just sitting there. It's not like I need to hurry. Then my stomach got bloated. I was like, oh, because I ate too fast. So really taste the foods, especially because it's something that you're only doing once a year, right? So enjoy it, like savor it. Really take the bites and taste it. Enjoy it while you're having it. And stop eating if you feel full. I know I have done this many times. You just keep eating because there's so much food and I just want to make sure I get all of it. And you keep eating, keep eating, keep eating, and then you're like, I'm so full right now. It's miserable. So make sure if you're full, make sure you stop. It's not to say that maybe you go back and grab a couple other things later, but don't overstuff yourself because again, that's not going to help your digestion. It's not going to help your energy, and it's not really enjoyable, right? When you sit down to eat and you have this plate full of all these goodies, make sure you kind of dig into that protein and those veggies first. Again, we're talking about stabilizing the blood sugar here, right? Because that's what's going to be most important. Um, so not the potatoes, not the desserts, even though it's so fun to like, I want to eat the chocolate first, but save that for the end. Dig into those protein and vegetables first. Um, then when you get to the other things, you may not eat as much of it, right? Because you'll be like, "Oh, I'm full and I feel better." But you still were able to enjoy a little bit of it and taste it. Um, think about so I don't know about you because everybody does this different, but at our holiday parties or our family parties, we bring a dish. Everybody brings something because that's just what it is. Um, if you know there's something that's going to be missing that you're like, they don't do a lot of veggies. I'm going to bring some veggies so that I know that I can get some, right? That's what I do. That's what we do. My in-laws, they don't like veggies either. So I cook up a really good veggie dish, and it's not just like, "Here's some more Brussels sprouts." I'm like, "Okay, I got Brussels sprouts in there." I do some, like, uh, cranberries with it, with, some walnuts, a little bit of olive oil. I mean, I think it's tasty, and they all love it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing," because they never eat it. It's not just like plain old Brussels sprouts. So find something that maybe you can bring if that's not gonna be there, right? Or maybe you're like, you want a certain dessert, maybe find a recipe that's a gluten-free dessert. So anything you want to bring, if you search in Google and say gluten-free, whatever it is, gluten-free chocolate pie, you will find a recipe and it will be simple to make. And then you can have your dish and then that you can, share your experience with them. Like, look, sometimes these desserts, if we make them healthier, they taste good too, right? And so they can enjoy them. So again, think about that. What may be missing that maybe you could bring yourself? Um, yeah, and like I was just talking about, find an alternative, a healthier version of your favorite dish. So maybe somebody is bringing your favorite dish, but you're like, you know what? I don't want to feel horrible. I don't want this to bother my stomach because it has dairy in it or whatever. Maybe you find another option. So it's paleo pecan pie or paleo cranberry salad, whatever it is, something different. Search paleo or gluten free or whatever. Or if you want me, if you're like, you know what, this is what I really love. Can you help me find a good recipe for it? I'll help you find something. But again, it's not only it's you're being more aware of of what's healthier version, and you can also teach them about it as well. The last thing I want to talk about is just giving yourself grace, right? Because one day of indulging is not going to throw everything off. Now, you may not feel great, which we've all know. We know when we do that, right? We just don't feel our best. Um, but it's okay just to be like, you know what? This is the one time, unless your family get-togethers are 3 or 4 days. You don't want to keep doing that for a long time. But the one day, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna not feel guilty. I'm gonna just eat it, enjoy it. The next day, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get back into your routine. You're gonna maybe go for a walk, maybe take a hot bath to help your body detox. Drink a lot of water, do a workout, something like that, right? Kind of get back into it and make sure that first meal again is lots of protein and fiber. That's going to help flush everything out. Um, because again, if you are feeling guilty and you're stressed out about it, that's also going to cause your body to want to go the other direction. Because anytime we have stress, it affects our gut, which affects our mind. I mean, it just throws everything out of control. So we don't want to be doing that. Give yourself grace, enjoy it, have fun. And then I'm going to touch base on this part because the holidays can be stressful, right? And what does that do? That leads to emotional eating. So either we're eating because we're happy and we're enjoying family time, or we're just over stressed out because there's so much going on that we want to eat everything because it's going to make us feel better, we think. But what happens is it increases your cortisol levels, it messes up with your blood sugar, it leads to weight gain, belly fat. You just don't feel good, you're not sleeping good. Um, I don't know, like, I feel like sometimes it should be called a holiday hangover. Even if you're not drinking, like, you just feel like you feel awful, you just don't feel good in your body. So the things that you can do, um, to combat this, we've talked about them, but most of all, just don't be full of stress. So whatever you can do to that, like the deep breathing, do some meditation, make sure that you're getting good sleep because that is very important. Because again, if you're not sleeping, you're going to be more hungry. You're going to tend to eat more of the stuff, right? That you shouldn't be, or that maybe don't make you feel good. And don't skip meals, whether because you're busy and stressed out, or because you just think that you can overeat later, or that you can eat more later. Don't do that. Make sure you're eating those regular meals throughout the day. Okay. Well, another one thing I just want to say, don't step on the scale. Do not step on the scale. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You know what? Enjoy that meal. Wait maybe 3, 4 days till your body gets back into normal. Um, because it's the water weight's gonna be all over. Salt intake's gonna make it look all off and everything. So don't step on the scale. Hopefully this will help get everybody through the holidays. And I'm gonna be sending out some other stuff over the next couple months too. Just kind of little things you can read through, little reminders because it's not just about the food, but there's a lot. There's a lot going on in the next couple months with the holidays. So I want to make sure that everybody gets through it on the right end of everything and feels great coming into the new year. So wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
I hope this episode today resonated with you, and if it did, I would love for you to share it on your stories and tag me on Instagram or Facebook. A review would be appreciated too. Your reviews and shares not only help us to grow, but they give other women who are struggling through their menopausal years hope that they don't have to continue living the way that they do. Your questions and experiences are also so helpful in giving me subjects to talk about. So feel free to reach out to me anytime on Facebook or Instagram with anything. I would love to help.